disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Angel Diaz will be with us shortly. He is closing up his school, so he will be with us shortly. All right. We are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Thursdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. And then every other week, you got the Traditional Way with Brett Shumway. And then once a month, you got the Extra Scoop with Peyton and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Joe, it's showtime. What's happening, man?
You know what? Just a lot of work. I'm on 22 days in a row, 10
Oh,
hours,
my
a couple of
goodness.
12 hours. Yeah, I'm putting like 80 hours in, man. But I'm
The
taking a day
check is
off
going to be
tomorrow.
nice, though, right?
Oh yeah, the check's gonna be great. So, that's what it's all about. So I say this every year, but I don't know if you remember. I do Christmas, and then I got the girls' birthdays right after.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And
usually like we're
yeah.
playing catch up with taxes, so we're trying to maybe keep some of that tax money and save it this year. So I'm doing my best to help out for now, but man, I'm dead beat. Like,
Tired or tired of the
no, I'm
Christmas
just
delay and shopping?
just exhausted all around. Oh man, my shopping's online.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, my stuff is just it's been coming in, and I see enough packages at work, so I'm good.
So you haven't been out to any
Seriously,
of the malls or any of the stores or anything like that?
I don't go near the mall during this time of year.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. It drives me crazy.
Say that again, man.
The
Say that again.
it drives me crazy,
Yeah.
and
The ladies
and
need
I
to
don't
hear
do it. Yeah, well, and that's funny because my middle daughter, they're doing like a Secret Santa with marching band.
it.
So
Okay.
she picked a name, and they get a little list, and she's gonna get some like I don't even know some kind of candy or something like that. So they're like, let's go to the mall. I'm like, you're going to the mall to get a candy? Like you can go to any other candy store. You're gonna overpay at the mall. There's so much traffic. There's so many people. I won't do it. And then my son's hearing about it and he's thinking about it. And so they're like, oh, I guess we'll all go as a family. I said, the hell we will. I said, you already know. I love y'all. Have a nice time. I'm not going. It's like I don't do them all. I don't do them all in December. In the beginning of January. I don't do it.
I
Never
wish I
have,
could be
never
like
will.
you. I wish I could be like you, man, because I envy you, man, because I definitely went out to the mall this past weekend, man, and I, I agree. I 100% agree with you, man. I don't like it when it's overcrowded, and half
I
the time
just
you can't really find what you're looking for. You know,
exactly.
it's way easier just to do it online.
I know some people like that experience, like, oh, I went and I found the perfect gift, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good for you. Happy, whatever.
Hmm.
I went and I looked up the perfect gift and I said, oh, that one looks good. What color do I want it in? Oh, perfect. Click, shows up at my door.
You know, me and you haven't met Ty yet, but Ty is he's the boxing coach at the school now, the academy.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
one of the coaches, right? And he was talking with me about that on Friday. You know, he was saying how much he doesn't like going out to the mall and the difference between men and women. And it's good to see somebody thinks like me because he says, when if I'm shopping for myself, if I have a list of people I have to buy stuff for,
Yeah.
I know what I'm getting before I get to the mall. I know exactly what stores I'm going to, what I'm getting, and then I'm out, and that's it.
Yes.
You know,
That's how all shopping should be.
I'm not bouncing around from store to store to store to store just to look and then find something. Just something hops out. Most of them I have a good idea of what it is I'm looking
Hmm.
for. And now, man, like you said, man, it's just so much of a convenience now shopping online. And
Yes.
because I was looking for something for Champ, and I can't remember what it was. And I said, you know what? I'm about to stop this. It's just easy. I'm just gonna look for it online, and I found it. Whatever, I can't remember what it was, and it was just so much easier just to get it online as opposed to not being in the store. Let me go to the next store. Can't find it at this store. They don't have it here. It's out of stock at this store. You know what? Fine. I'm just gonna go home or get on my phone while I'm in the the hallway sitting in this chair waiting on Melissa to come out of this store. I'm just gonna do my shopping now this way. Uh,
Man, I'm telling you, this is where I really was like, okay, online's the way to go. So we were at the house, and our Fire Stick stopped working in the living room. It wasn't loading. It was dead, not working, overloaded. I don't know what happened. It took a crap. So we're trying to watch like that's our TV. That's our main TV. And so I'm like, okay, can I just go to the store and get a Fire Stick? Because we just always order them online. And so I look it up. I find it online at Walmart, where it's at in the aisle.
mhm.
I go to Walmart. I find all the aisles. I can't find this aisle. I cannot find it. I'm like, okay, the aisle is like F or something like that, or H. I go to G all the way to the end. I go to J all the way to the. I'm like, where's the damn F? I'm looking. I walked around that store 4 times, 6 times. I talked to people. They said it's right over there. I'm I, I-
Don't
I'm
you hate
looking
when
at a
that happens?
map, and then it was the stupidest thing. You know where it was?
Oh, end cap.
It was in a cabinet underneath this display TVs. And sure enough, F. I'm like,
I would have never known that.
how I walked by it 6 times thinking like, oh my God, I was so mad. And then now, here comes the fun part. Now I can't get in there because it's locked.
Hmm.
So now I got to get an associate, which
Hmm.
that took forever
Hmm.
to come over. And then he opens it up and there's like 6 different versions. I'm like, I just want the one that I was looking at online. And how many of the, oh yeah, there's only one of those left.
If
I could have done this online. Been no
you could,
problem.
yeah, you definitely could have, and it could have came to it. Probably with it being an Amazon Fire Stick, you probably would have got it that night. They could have had
I
one
know.
available that day, later on that night
I
or something.
literally, I was gone for an hour. I came home. They're like, what happened? The store is only 10 minutes away. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. Here's your stupid Fire Stick watching damn TV.
Did you go to the one that was on Pontiac Trail?
Yeah.
That's the one you. I was just there today. I was just
Were
at
you
that
really?
store.
What were you
Yeah.
doing all the way over here?
Well, for work, I have to go and I have to train associates in stores and check on, my products in the store. So yeah. So plus Kigo's not far, so I'll
Oh, yeah.
train in the afternoon time, for
Cool.
my lunchtime. I'll take that time off and train and then, finish with my day. So yeah, so
So,
I
I
was out
mean,
that way.
yeah, other than work, man, the girl, Ava's doing Joseph and the Technicolor Dream Coach. She's working on that right now. Aiden's doing some archery. He woke up with a muscle spasm the other day. So he didn't make it to practice for archery. So he joined us at our practice today, and he shot pretty good today. We had the kids shooting real good. There's a tournament tomorrow.
Okay.
Just a little in-house tournament. They call it the holiday special. You dress up, put an ugly sweater on, a Santa hat, and so this is my group that I've been coaching. This is their first tournament, and we
So how
got,
are you doing with the coaching, man?
and I'm killing it. I literally treat it like karate. Only I'm not Sensei Joe. I'm just Coach Hartley.
Uh-huh.
That's literally all. And they gave me, oh man, they gave me the best thing in my training. I want to take this thing everywhere I go. It's a electric whistle. So instead of like a
Electric
coat, like
whistle?
yeah, so it literally sounds like blowing a whistle only it's electric and it's really loud.
Hmm.
Because we have 4 different whistle commands that you have to learn to shoot. So
Okay.
one is two whistles. You go and get your bow, and then you got to set up and bows on toes on the line, and then uh, one whistle to shoot. 3 whistles after you're done shooting to go get your arrows, and then you do 5 whistles or more for an emergency. So that means stop what you're doing, pull no more shooting. Everyone stop. There's an emergency. Maybe someone got hurt. There's something on the field. Just something, anything. Everything stop and get behind the safety line. So those are things. So I couldn't be doing that all day with, I'd be out of breath. So they give you these electric whistles, and man, those things work good.
Okay. All
And
right.
then yeah, but it's been going really well. We got, it's the same thing as teaching karate. You got you're really good, students that listen and they try and they don't get discouraged. And then, you got a couple of knuckleheads that just don't want to listen and not paying attention. The only difference here is instead of, punching and kicking and all that, they got weapons in their hands. So I gotta don't point the weapon anywhere but the target. How many times did I have to say that today? Too many.
You really have to
We
say
got
that
this
a
one
lot?
kid. Oh man, you get these kids, they're probably like ADHD or something, and they can't stop doing this. And he's asking me a million. My wife teaches these kids. This is her students. So
Okay.
she already won. The funny, you know what his name is?
I have no idea.
Joseph.
Oh.
We got the same name. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna put you with Joseph," and that's that. Joseph and I are cool. I'm fine with Joseph.
You know
I'm
what,
like, you got
Joe?
a good name, and I'm gonna set him straight. I got him hitting that target. He got his first bullseye today. It was great.
You know what, Joe? I don't think I've ever called you Joseph. I didn't even know that was your. I never even thought about you having the full name. You've
Listen,
always been Joe.
I only get called Joseph in a professional environment or if I'm in trouble.
I've never ever thought about you being a Joseph. I've never. You've always just been
Yeah,
just Joe.
yeah, because that's what I mostly go
Right.
by. So yeah, but Joseph Daniel, that's my full name. But so yeah, I got everyone shooting today. We did 10 meters, that's the standard, and then they do 15 meters. Today was the first time they all shot at 15 meters, and they were freaking out about that extra 5 meters. And I said, okay, here's the adjustment. When you're shooting at a longer distance, you got to adjust the bow, shoot upwards a little bit more because it's going to come at it like a downward arc.
Mm.
Everyone hit the target. So I was like, see, everyone's good. So everything's gonna be fine tomorrow. You guys are gonna do real good, have a lot of fun. It'll be a good time. So
Okay, so let me ask you this, Joe. So do you shoot with them, the kids? Like, do you have to demonstrate what it is that they're doing? And if so, do you hit the bullseye or do you just hit the target?
okay, so 2 things about that. I do shoot with them some at the beginning of the teaching, I was shooting with them, but I found out that I've been shooting wrong for a long time because apparently I'm left eye dominant. They have
Okay.
these tricks that you can learn how
So
to
you need to close your
figure
right
out.
eye and have your
No,
left
no,
eye
no. So
open.
I've been shooting right-handed for my whole life, and I'm supposed to be shooting left-handed according to this left eye dominant test. So I tried a left-handed bow, and I actually shot really well with it. At first, it was awkward because I'm like, I'm not used to doing this, and then I started hitting the target a lot better and got adjusted to it, and I got a couple bullseyes.
Okay.
You can't show up and try to teach a class and not hit a few bullseyes.
That's what I
Otherwise,
was. That's
they're gonna think I'm
that's
full of
what I was.
crap.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to know. Like, how often do you hit it, or is it pretty
But
easy for you?
mostly,
Like, is it something different that an adult would do compared to a kid? The
not
target
so
or the
the way the coaching is set up, they gave us a full breakdown of how they want us to teach this. So there's 11 steps you got to follow, and I'm not gonna lie. When I saw my son doing it and I was learning how to do these 11 steps, I was like, okay, this is BS. But then I really started teaching them, and I started kind of paying attention to them in my head, and I'm like, these actually do work. So when the kids struggle, I just go back to, okay, what step do you think, could have helped you with that? And they'll be like, I don't know, you tell me. And I'm like, well, let's think about it. Okay. What step do you start with? And then, maybe step 6, okay, lock your arm out, set your bow hand up, and then, pull back to your anchor and see how that works for you. And usually I can correct most of the problems with that. And then it's just once they get these steps down and they're hitting the target consistently, then it's really just, working on the aim. Like where do you find your aim is? Where are you the most consistent? Your stance. It works out pretty well.
Now you said you and your wife both teach this class together, right?
Yeah, because they're her students. So I'm the coach and she's the assistant coach. So she
So
comes in
how
and
is that working
it's fine.
together?
She has, she teaches these kids every day. So they sometimes listen to her more,
Okay.
but I'm a very loud and big force.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been teaching karate for so long that I command the room, and then she commands the kids. So I do all the coaching, and she helps out. I bring my daughter and my son. My son is the one that everyone likes to watch because he's actually shooting pretty good right now.
You know what, Joe? I just realized something. All of this time, this whole time you've been talking about this, not today, but the last couple of weeks you've been talking about this. I just assumed that you guys were like outside in the woods doing this. But it's cold. It's wintertime. You're inside doing this,
No,
aren't you?
this is a gym.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they
I,
set
I
this up in
never
the
thought
gym.
about that. I never thought about that.
So
Okay.
this is what you need. You got to tape off your 10 and your 15 meters, and then they got a bow rack with all the bows, and then they hang a curtain because the bows, these aren't hunting bows, so and
Okay.
not hunting arrows. So there's a big heavy curtain that comes down, and that's you shoot against that. So we got to hang that and then take it down every time.
Okay.
And the target sit in front of that curtain so it doesn't, hit a wall or stick into the whatever. So yeah, and
Um,
I was wondering the same thing when they were talking about it at first when my son joined.
and this is at her school, your wife's school.
So right now she didn't have the room to store everything, but we recently made the room. So in January we're going to start shooting at her school. Right now we're going to another school like 15 minutes away called Dublin, but in January we just got all our own stuff from the activities coordinator. So yeah, we'll be shooting at her school, which is good because a lot of the people that wanted to join said that was too far to drive. So now that it'll be at the school, we'll probably get some more kids next season.
Okay. Well, how many? How long does the season last?
I think it's like 3 months.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey.
All right. So you think you're gonna do it again next year?
Yeah, I mean, we're all in all with the little things that are a headache don't really matter because it's literally an hour once a week. So
But you're enjoying this now when your son is in it. But are you gonna do it? Continue to do it when your son's no longer in
that's a good question. We'll have to see how that works.
it? Okay.
Because like at that point, like he can do it all through high school.
Okay. But not with the
And
same
he can
kids. Like it's gonna be like different age groups, right?
Yeah, but I mean they at the tournaments they all shoot together. Elementary through high school all shoot. I mean they try to keep the kids with the kids but a lot of
Hmm.
times you're shooting with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, they just give you a flight time that works for you and everybody lines up and just pop 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 pop. It works out pretty well. You know what's funny? I was uh I was laughing from last week because before the episode released, Angel put out in the group text about the MMA Rushmore,
Hmm.
and the debate that started really was crazy to me, and I almost wonder if my brother like didn't listen yet because I would thought for sure I was gonna get at least a text from him about his picks because I know he's got some picks that we probably left off that were
Hmm.
probably in the group text, but that we
Well,
didn't talk about.
yeah, I saw the group text, but I was working, so I don't think I went back through them. What exactly were you talking about as far as the
Oh,
debate?
oh, there was just a lot of other people and some that I even
Th-
forgot about.
Yeah, and it's hard when you have to just pick four. But it
I
seems
know.
like it's the fourth one that's always messing people up. But it seems like everyone is pretty much saying GSP, John Jones, and Anderson Silva. It's the
Yeah.
fourth one that makes people, kind of think a
I
little
think
bit about
that
who they're gonna
I
pick.
think that works when you because I remember on your other podcast when you were doing that with your boy with
Mm-hmm.
music
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
other various other things, it was always the same thing too.
Yeah.
Y'all pretty much could agree on three, but it was always that last one.
Yeah. Here's Angel.
I like doing that kind of stuff though.
Yeah, that was pretty
Hey,
fun. What's up, Angel?
What's up, bro?
You good?
I'm exhausted, bro. I got a headache.
You sound like Joe.
I got a headache like crazy. I'm exhausted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe was just pretty much just wrapping up his
But
weekend and everything. Everything's good
yeah,
with you. We were talking about we were just talking about the Mount Rushmore about
oh,
that was going on in our
yeah.
group
After
chat.
you
Yeah.
posted it in the after
that
you
was such
posted
a
it in the
good
group chat,
conversation, wasn't it? That was such a
that
good
was very
conversation.
good.
Yeah, y'all gonna make people jealous. People gonna want to see have a podcast of the main gang group chat. you know,
Oh,
we're gonna get some AI to be our voices. That's what we're gonna
hey,
do.
listen. You
To
know
read
what?
our text message back.
Can I just say, like, just on that topic quickly? I actually forgot about Demetrius Johnson, and then after that, then I was like, oh, never mind. I think I want him in instead of BJ Penn. But BJ Penn is like pretty much like everyone's like, nah, dude. If you had to pick a lightweight go, it's probably BJ Penn. At that time, BJ Penn.
I love BJ Penn. He's one of my favorites.
I think now he wouldn't do good. Like in terms like skill wise, I think the skill level is way higher than it was when he was competing.
But
In
that's the
terms of
same with all of those guys. I don't know
only
how any of those
the,
guys would
the
do.
only one I think that would transfer to a certain degree, I think Anderson would still be dominant, just not as long. I think
No,
he
no, I
would
don't
still be
mean I don't
dominant.
mean them. No, 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 no. Yeah, you're right about that, Angel.
Yeah,
But Anderson, GSP, John Jones,
I think
I
can
think they.
go.
I mean, I think they'll be fine. But I'm talking
And
about like the guys from back in the day, like in the early 2000s, like Matt Hughes, like BJ Penn, like
even
Tito
Chuck,
Ortiz,
no, even Chuck,
Chuck Liddell. Like I don't know how well they would do now,
you
because
know, it's a
MMA's
good.
changed so much.
It's changed so much, and it's changing every day. Like
Yeah.
it's nuts. So I will say this though, I do stand tall on like what I said last time. If they would have had the lighter weight divisions when BJ Penn was competing, because remember he probably really is a featherweight bantamweight around there. He had to fight at 155 because they had nothing else. Everyone did. You know, Frankie Edgar really had a second career once they brought in the lighter weights. But if they would have did that, I'm guaranteed, bro. Like BJ Penn probably would have been the first the 3-time champ because he would have won featherweight without a doubt. Then he was a lightweight, and then he was a welterweight champion. I think he would have been the first three division champion. I really believe that. Really
Did him
believe.
and Eve Edwards ever fight?
What the Thug Jitsu?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
don't
don't think
no
so.
no no. Actually, I think what happened was I don't think they did. I think they were he was in either BJ Penn was gonna fight him for his belt, or it
He
was the
never got a
opposite.
belt. They didn't have a belt for him. They didn't have a
That's what I'm
lightweight.
saying. No, that's what I'm saying. I think they were going to, and then they cut that lightweight division. Then they cut. I think he was like, it was like they were gonna do something, and then
Mm.
they cut the lightweight division, which is so crazy to think that they could cut a lightweight division. To me, it's ridiculous. I mean, I think it's crazy that they would cut any division, but that's just me. I don't understand
Well,
it.
I mean, at that time they probably didn't have that many smaller
Only
fighters
thing I could think of
that
is
have that much skill. I don't know.
actually, I think there was a lot. It was just all in pride. There was nothing, no talent left in the states or anywhere else because all you had was Jens Pulver,
Yeah.
Sean Shirk, and BJ Penn were like the main guys. Outside of them,
I
Oh
don't
man,
think
Sean,
Sean
Sean Shark.
Shirk. I forgot
I
about
don't
Sean
think
Shirk.
I don't even think he was a real lightweight though.
yeah, no, no, he was he was on some PEDs. But let me tell you something. That fight with BJ Penn, I mean, yo, it was a Bloody Mary when BJ Penn fought him that last time. That was blood disgusting everywhere. But once they brought over Takanori Gomi and all the other guys, then they were able to, the lightweight division got better. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. I that was a good conversation though.
Did you guys watch the
That was
UFC
great.
this weekend?
Yeah.
What'd you think of your boy Kobe losing? I was happy.
You talking about your boy?
Of course you were.
Talking about your boy. This is my thing with Kobe, right? And I not saying that I'm really neutral on him because I think if you hate one, I think you have to know what he's doing to really give an opinion. And he's just, I don't want to say he started something, but he's doing something. He got popular by doing something, which now a lot more people are doing, which he's running the gimmick, like how they do in WWE.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, if he's going to try and be Conor McGregor, it's almost like what's the guy? Oh man, I'm blanking on this guy's name. He's a boxer. He's trying to be like Floyd, but he's not as good as Floyd.
The guy from the UK that he does, like he's like Prince Hassim.
No. He's American. Oh man, I'm blanking on his name.
Boots.
Man, Jeff is probably going crazy right now. He probably knows.
If it involves breathing, Jeff knows.
This dude is always. It's not Bronner, is it? Adrian Bronner? Is it Bronner?
Adrian Bronner, yeah, he used to be like Floyd, yeah.
He wanted to be like Floyd, but he wasn't as good as Floyd, right?
Then he got beat by Maidana. He got destroyed.
Yeah. And I think that's what Kobe is to me. I went through and looked at his record. Once again, I always go back and look through somebody's record, and to see who you beat. Like, I can understand. Like, if GSP acted like that, fine. If John Jones acted like that, fine. If Anderson Silva acted like that, fine. Because you're beating the best of the best. But when you're not beating the best of the best and you acting goofy and acting all silly and talking smack and then being and doing the disrespectful stuff, that's what I don't like. I don't like the disrespectful stuff that a lot of these guys do.
I don't like the lines he crosses. That's
man. No.
The only reason why I say like I'm neutral about him is because then I've seen him train. Like I've seen like the real private footage of him training. Mm-hmm. And he's actually like not an asshole. Like he works with guys, like he helps them get better. When he knows he can knock someone out, he's not going for it. Which I'm like, man, listen, man, some of the dudes that are nice in the public, they're real assholes in the gym. So I'm like, that's why I stay neutral on my stance with him.
But you know what, man? Sometimes like I don't really talk like that when it comes to people anymore because sometimes you don't know somebody until you really know them.
Yeah, that's why I say, yeah.
So sometimes you could think somebody is cool because you're not with them all the time or every day. Sometimes, but when you're around that person, somebody all the time, and you really get to know them and you see them in a different light, different than what other people see, they be like, you know what, man, I can't be around this guy. They're an asshole. I can't be around. I know people like that, and I don't be around those type of people because I know me.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I got you, man. I think he's listen, man. The one thing I would say is this, bro. He wrote the blueprint for how guys not to get cut from the UFC. Like, he was on the verge of, because that fight when all this hype started with him, he was gonna get cut. And then
I think he's about to. I think he might not get cut. He might gracefully bow out himself. Because
I think he has. I think they'll give him one more to either leave or stay or whatever.
He's lost 4 of his last fights.
Exactly. I think they're gonna call it at 5.
Yeah.
I think
anyway,
at the end of the day, he does put butts in the seats. People want to see him lose, so he is a moneymaker at the end of the day. I mean, it is what it is. But I did see the fight.
That's only that can only go for so long. And when you're not winning, like you have to be like Conor. People want to see Conor lose. Also, people want to see the Paul brothers lose. But if you're really losing. then eventually they're gonna stop showing them.
I was watching First Take when Dana White was on the other day, and even Stephen A said a stat, and I had to go back and look, and he was right. Conor hasn't won a fight in 7 years.
Yeah, I know.
So shit. I mean, if he's still fine, I mean, we know he's the cash king. We know that, but if he's still fine, I mean, shit, man.
Yeah, but he's not fighting regularly. If he was fighting regularly and hasn't won in 7 years, they would not
Hope
keep him around.
Kobe doesn't
But
fight.
No.
also, but also he, I mean, I don't think kind of really cares. Like that having that Mayweather fight was the best
It was
thing that ever
done.
happened
That
to
was
him.
done. That was done. He was done now. He was done
Yeah,
now.
that was the best thing that ever happened to him because he made so much money from that. You know, he probably made more money from that fight than his whole MMA career.
Yep.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, so he's good. He don't need to fight no more.
Yeah.
And if I was him, actually, I probably would start transitioning into acting because a lot of people liked how he was in Roadhouse. So,
My mom and dad hated. They saw that movie the other day. They hated him.
so, so how's everything else been? Adrian? Everything else been good?
I'm just exhausted, bro. I just want this week to end. You
So you're
know.
not in the holiday spirit?
No.
you know, I don't know about the weather there in Connecticut, Angel, but I told Melissa, I said, you know what, I'm just not feeling it this year. It doesn't really feel Christmassy. Like Christmas is in a week, and I don't feel Christmassy, right? But for me and Joe, Angel, here in Michigan, it has been gloomy for weeks.
It's been the
Like
same.
I don't know when the last time I saw the sun. It's just been gray
Sounds like
it's
the.
not
It sounds
it's been a little dark as it's been gray. It's been rainy. We've had some snow days, but it's been
And
rainy. It's that
fog.
yeah, it's been a
Like thick
pestering rain
fog.
where it's
sounds like
like
an
I just wanted just
apocalypse
to rain one
coming.
good time and get it over with. It's like an all day rain thing, man. It's just been gloomy,
It's been
for the
the
last
same
few
here.
weeks.
It's been the same here, but it's been like that for like the past week. It's just been raining all the time, bro. It's annoying.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I just been
Uh,
chill, man. I just been chill. Just really, man. I just want to get done. Just want let me get to Friday, please, Lord,
well,
please.
well, my weekend was pretty much shopping. Me and Melissa, we went out to the malls. We did it, Joe. I had to go. I had to take her out. Saturday,
Yeah, I
she
know.
went out, got some stuff Saturday, and we had to take the kids out Sunday. And they did some shopping, picked some stuff out, and yeah, man. But Saturday it was so crowded at Great Lakes Crossing, man. I was like, oh my god, I'm ready to go. We definitely didn't go to many stores. I asked Melissa, I'm like, you sure? You're not ready to go? She was like, yeah, because she don't like crowds either. When it's that many people there, where it's just like body to body, and you're constantly going in between people, man. It's just it was just a headache. Great, not so much when we went to Oakland Mall, but Great Lakes was packed Saturday. You know.
Hey, I did not know that Melissa had a 20-year-old daughter.
hmm
Bro, they
She has
look
three kids.
exactly alike.
Well, she has three kids. She has 20, 22, 20, and 12. Yeah.
I only knew about the 12-year-old. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. She got three.
They look exactly alike. Like I
Oh,
like
oh,
when I saw that picture she posted, I
mhm.
literally looked and I said, "Yo, like you could see what she's gonna look like in like the next couple of years. She's gonna look just like with Melissa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Baby girl, she don't really get that as much as like because she kind of favors more Melissa's sister. She
Mm,
kind of favors her more. Melissa's oldest, really favors her. Actually, her oldest and her youngest favor her the most.
mm.
But
Well, they got good genes, bro.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they got good genes. God bless
So
them.
so we was out there shopping, doing our thing, and finally got done with that. I'm not done Christmas shopping. Unfortunately, see, this is why, Angel. This is why I tell you I like to start in July because now here I am. It's countdown, and I'm not even done yet. But like me and Joe was saying earlier, man, I'm probably gonna finish up online, and I'm probably gonna send some stuff down to Florida for Trav and my parents. They don't care when they get it, so if they get it, really, they don't care if it comes after Christmas. They don't really, have to have it on Christmas Day. I mean, they're not kids; they're full grown, so so they're
Yeah,
not really
listen,
worried about it.
Trav posted something on a story a couple of days, and I almost wanted to be like what he said when Trav was like, I do not understand getting grown adults Christmas gifts at this point. Just buy your own stuff. I want to be like, yo, please, can we start doing that? I said that to my parents this year. They're like, what do you want for Christmas? I said, I really think we don't even need to do Christmas, except we got the babies. Just do
you
Christmas
know,
with the babies.
my mom doesn't make it easy because she does not say anything. at all. She don't give you a hint. You know, I asked my dad, he don't know what she wants. She won't tell him. I'm not around my mom enough to know what she wants. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like Melissa doesn't have to tell me what she wants most of the time because I sit back and watch her, listen to her. If she sees something on TV and and I know she likes it, I'll take a mental note, or if we're out at the mall when it's not crowded. If she sees something and don't get it, I'll take a mental note. So I can kind of she doesn't have to tell me all the time what she wants. I can just kind of pick up on things. But with my mom, it's different. That means she has everything. So now I gotta start. So I gotta start giving her stuff she doesn't have, personalized stuff about the grandkids. I gotta start getting creative with their gifts. My dad, he's easy. My dad likes to barbecue.
I'm
He
about to say he
loves
likes barbecuing, so
he likes barbecuing, man. He likes
just get him some seasonings.
he likes Black History stuff. So anything that has to do with Black History, he's gonna like. He got his team. The college he went to, Morehouse College. I can find stuff for him. It's easy to shop for him, but mom, it's not so much. All right, then that's enough of that. Let's move on. I got a question of the day.
I got
Why?
questions too, but go ahead.
Why do kata competitors get so much disrespect and flack? They are still martial artists, and a lot of times they're still black belts. Why are people giving them slack? Because I've been listening to a lot of MMA and jiu-jitsu podcasts, right? And when they talk about karate and they talk about why, at some point in time they did karate and they stopped, and they always go to they didn't want to do the katas. And I know as fighters we always talk about people that do katas. We don't give them the same level of respect that we give fighters, but we should. They still martial artists. They still black belts. Like they still went through the grind. Most of them, a lot of them, in order to get black belts. They should know how to defend themselves. Do you think why do they get so much disrespect? That's kind of messed up. Now Joe is a
I
kind of
think
guy.
I think that the problem is that people think they don't want to fight or they can't fight, but a lot of times those forums guys will come like the first time I found this out, Dan Cousineau fought me at a
Mm-hmm.
tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and after the fight, I said, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know you could fight." He beat
You
me.
said that to him?
Yeah, he beat me. I was mad. I was
Wait,
mad.
to his face? You said that to his face? Like, hey, I didn't know you could
I
fight.
didn't. I didn't know he could fight. I was like, I gave him props. I said, man, I was like, I'll never think that again in my life. I'll never think that again in my life. He beat me. By one
Okay.
point, he beat me. I was mad.
Now I'm not laughing because you guys fought
No,
and
I
he
get
won. I'm
it.
like that you said that to his face. Like, oh, I can't
No,
believe this.
we were cool. I mean, I
Okay.
lost to the guy, so I was like, dang, I didn't, a lot of his people just, they come, they do the forms and the weapons, they beat everybody and
They got
nobody
some
could beat
nice
them.
forms too.
That was it. But
Mm-hmm.
every once in a while, because I had, one of my friends went there, Keith, and Keith would do all three. But
Okay.
Keith was already sparring before he went there. He just upped his game for forms and weapons. But I think that's what happens, and I think that's a misconception because I think a lot of them can fight. They fight at their schools. They just would prefer to do forms and weapons,
Okay. What do
and
you
that's
think, Angel?
okay.
Oh
You
man,
you got something to say, Angel? Like you trying to
I'm trying to like
say it the
restrain.
right way.
Yeah,
Just say it, man.
it's just it's like it's not even that's a long-winded answer. I think I have two parts to that answer, right? The first part is based like how Joe was saying. I think in your era, there were more martial artists.
I
I think
guess I'm not really out there no more.
exactly.
So
I know that's why I'm saying that. I think in your era there was more martial artists. You would find guys that would do both. You would find guys that you knew that they would do forms, but people knew that they could fight. I don't know, I can't explain it, and I know I'll get crap for this, bro. I know. And I'm saying this, and like, I do forms. And I'll do them at tournaments every once in a while. And people say, yo, I didn't even know you could do forms that good. And I'm like,
See?
yeah, it's just like something I could do on the side, right? But I think the reason why people get flack in terms of from our own community, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a stigma or like the way people act, like the forms competitors, the way they act. They would think that we're like the most barbaric savages out there. Like it's weird, and it's like, you know, let's just call it like it is, man. Forms competitors, they get the flack of like being prima donnas, like everything is like the drama queens, right? And I hate saying that, man, because like my brother does forms. Like I actually like doing forms. Like I don't. I'm not one of those people that hates doing them. I do like to do them. I think there is a time and a place for it, right? But like I think if you like, you can tell like, yo, that's kind of true. Like some of it is drama queen stuff. Some of it's like prima donna things. Like there was one time I'm standing next to a forms competitor. I'm getting ready to fight, and he's talking to one of his friends, and he's like, "Oh my god, look at how hard they're hitting! Oh my god, I can't believe this." And in my mind, I want to be like, "And this is point sparring. Imagine what a real fight looks like. Like what? Like if you think this is hard, they're saying stop in the middle. Imagine if you saw a continuous match. Jesus, you would think that we're gonna cut the person's head off. Like what are you?" So I think it's just there's that side of it. When it comes to the MMA and jiu-jitsu podcast, I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? Again, I'm a big traditional karate guy. I'm a big forms guy. I do believe in it, right? Joe Rogan ruined forms for me. Ruined forms for me to a certain extent.
What do you mean by that?
Why?
So, he was
Oh, I
talking
think I know
about,
why. Go ahead.
yeah, I think you know. He was talking about that knockout that happened in the Olympics when the guy knocked him out and he got disqualified for the Kumite matches. So it was the gold medal match. One of the guys.
The guy knocked out Joe?
No. The guy
Somebody else.
knocked out the guy he was going against for the gold medal. Knocked him out with like a defensive roundhouse kick. Clean, perfect, clean, spot on. And he got disqualified and got the silver medal. So they were like, how can you have an Olympic level sport and not have knockouts? Like boxing has knockouts, judo even has knockouts, taekwondo has knockouts, but your one sport doesn't have knockouts. So then they were saying, the other guy he was talking to said, did you see that America was a guy won the first American medal for kata? And he goes, what is that? And Joe was trying to explain like, oh, it's a form. Now, mind you, I know the guy who won it, and big respects up to Ariel Torres because he's the one that won it. But Joe said, yeah, it's kind of bullshit. He goes, you don't get a gold medal for shadow boxing, do you? And when he said it, it like made me be like I wanted to argue it, and I was like, I'm finding it hard to argue that point. Like that's a good point. I even talk about this with my brother. And me and my brother are like big into like karate, and we learn tradition. Even my brother's like, yeah, like that's kind of crazy. When you think about it, it's a kind of like a crazy concept to it, right? I think just the MMA guys and the jiu-jitsu guys, they see it as like, how that's not applicable. You would never do that in a fight. And I think everyone has to get out the thing of like, I said it to my students the other day. If I see you in a street fight, do a front forward punch with your chamber hand, I'll kick you in the nuts instead of the guy. Like, why would you, like, that's not, like, this is just for practice for you to understand the technique. That's not what you do in the real fight, Even with forms. Like, that's where it gets tough.
Yeah, I get that and all that, but all right, so if that's the case, then the same thing could be said for something like fencing. At no point in time are two people in 2024 or 2025 going to put out two swords and start battling each other.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
People talk shit about fencing. I'm not.
Yeah, but
talk shit about fencing. So I'm not saying like.
I probably would be one of those people, but still, it's. but still. Like it's still a competition, right? It's still a competition. Like I don't think anybody should not, because man, there's a lot of competitions or a lot of things that are considered sports that to me is not a sport.
Listen, this year was the breakdancing thing. That was like the biggest thing that went viral.
Boy, that was just dumb. That shouldn't have been in anyway. But I'm not even going. I'm like something like NASCAR. NASCAR is considered a sport. Should it be considered a sport? I don't think so. You're just sitting in the car going around in a circle. That's it.
Now, the
That's
thing
it.
with NASCAR, the thing with Formula One, and I will say this, I will go on record saying this, and I dare somebody to try and tell me that I'm wrong. I will say though, Olympic level kata athletes, even the guys who are doing the CMX divisions at tournaments, they're better athletes than point fighters. I will say that straight up and down.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I
I
will say
agree with
that.
that.
And I know
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
People think I'm crazy. No, people think I'm crazy when I say it. I'm like, dude, an Olympic level kata guy, look at what their strength and conditioning routine is.
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
Like they really hit like when they grade traditional karate, and Brett will get into his deep. Like they grade it on like how good your kata looks, and then they grade it on athleticism. Like that's a part of a grade. So these guys have to be the most athletic just in order to, get a good score. But when it comes to that, I know everyone talks bad about it. Like I said, I'm sure if you were to show the jiu-jitsu guy how you can apply the bunkai of the form and show that, yo, we can actually use this as like a knee bar or whatever, then they would be like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty applicable. Like this is actually works. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, you can look at forms. It's just an exercise. It's just a different way of exercising.
That's true.
And when it comes to kids, like you're working on their concentration and their discipline and their power is what you're doing. So I hear people say like I tried karate when I was a kid. I didn't like it because I didn't want to do katas. Okay, you were an undisciplined kid and you did not want to focus and work on your discipline. Fine, I get it.
Listen,
but
I am with you on that. I'm on the side. I like katas. I think katas are good for you. I think where everyone goes wrong with katas and where everyone hates on katas is that people don't understand how to leave things in certain spaces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kata has its category and it has its benefits, but don't, you heard everyone say, don't say that my fish is chicken. Like, it's fish, and then this is chicken. Kata is good for these things. Don't tell me if I'm doing this, I'm gonna get good at, all these other things. If I learn how to do kata, I'm gonna learn how to sprawl from a takedown.
Right.
So.
All right. Did you have something? You said you had something you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, mine's quick. I just want to say. So what happened? There's a kung fu fight outside of a goddamn police station.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't.
Where was that?
In Detroit.
In Detroit. Yeah, Dearborn. Dearborn. I put the message in on our Instagram, the Man Gang Instagram page. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Yeah.
Does it have video? Is there video?
Your question was gonna be, I was like, can someone explain this to me?
I didn't click on the link in the LinkedIn bio. Because I was at work. And I was just killing time right quick, and then I had to go to my next store. So I saw it and I just reposted it. So
I'm gonna look that up.
But I just thought about Cobra Kai. That's all I thought about.
A kung fu fight outside of a police station. I was like, what the heck is going on here?
And it was another big brawl karate fight in a school or something like that also that I had posted in there.
Well, Cobra Kai gets like the worst rap when it comes to these fights. They make everything.
Oh yeah, because I mean I'm not used to seeing that in real life. Like that's a TV show thing, So
I know.
All right, let's talk about our movie Rocky 3. Now I think this is Travis's favorite Rocky. Especially,
I remember. I think hearing him say that.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, you know what, man? One Christmas, Trav and I both got Rocky toys. Like I got Rocky, and Travis got Mr. T. I had my Rocky for about 30 minutes because Travis took Mr. T and boom, he just smashed Rocky. Rocky broke in half on Christmas Day. He died. There was no Rocky 4 for me. Rocky died on Christmas Day. Mr. T killed him. He broke him in half. That was it. Man, we tried Elmer's glue. We tried super glue. We tried everything, man. Rocky was like, he kept falling apart. Every time we put him together, he kept falling apart.
It's not Mr. T, it's Clubber Lang.
Clubber Lang, my bad, man. Clubber Lang. Well, Clubber Lang, he beat the hell out of my Rocky.
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Travis knows. He remembers. He'll remember. He definitely remembers.
God.
I always wanted the belt from Rocky. I always thought that belt was so cool.
I'd never liked that belt. I've never liked it.
Belt. That's a real belt. I actually think that's to me that's the most prestigious boxing belt there is, in my opinion.
You know, what's funny is I started watching pro wrestling before boxing.
Mhm.
So I'm used to seeing the wrestling belts. So when I would see the boxing belts, I'm like, what is this? Like this, this is a real activity, and this is the belt y'all get. Like this is like some cheap bullshit. The wrestling belt. I wanted Hulk Hogan's belt, especially when the Macho Man, with the eagle wings and everything.
Uh-huh.
Those belts look nice. The Intercontinental title, Ric Flair's belt. Who didn't want that as a kid?
Yeah.
But not one time did I ever want a boxing belt. It's like it was too much belt and not enough gold. Like the belt seemed real big.
It
You
seemed
know.
long, and then
Yeah.
the thing is here. Yeah, I got you.
Go ahead, Joe.
um, this movie, just like the other one, they start off with the fight. They don't get into the hospital stay and everything, but and they go right after the fight. They go right into the championship defense, and Rocky's living life. He's doing endorsements. He's not messing up lines or anything. Uh, he's getting a nice big house. His kids growing up. His wife has nice things. He's got nice things. Nice everything, and he's just defending his title and living life. At the same time, we see this contender start off at the number 8 contender, moving his way up through the ranks, all the way up to number 1, Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T. And he's treating the situation like Rocky is ducking him,
Yeah.
trying not to fight him. Now, lo and behold, he's not wrong. But the problem is, Rocky's not in charge of setting up his own fights.
Mhm.
This is all Mick. Mick and Paulie, and his whole team of people. And Mick, when confronted with this, he straight up says, "Yeah, I'm not having you fight that fool. That
Right.
guy's a bum."
But
I love Mick. I'm really. That's my only problem with this. I understand why they did it, but Mick having to die. Come on, I love Mick.
but hold on. From here on out, every Rocky movie after this, somebody dies.
Yeah, I
Every
know.
is one less person every
But
time.
but you know what? The one person who's like the most unhealthy bum there is on there, Paulie, sticks around forever. It seems like.
Yeah. Well. um. But was Mick did what he did for a reason. Number one, they weren't the number 2 competitors, but I'm assuming they were somewhere in the top 10
Yeah,
because you can't not fight. So this from the end of uh the second movie to this one, it's 3 years that we see, and they're doing it like a montage because we see Rocky
yeah.
fighting. So he has 10 fights within 3 years, and I'm assuming that these were some type of contenders. They might not have been the number 2, but who knows? You know. Um. So Mick did what he did for a reason. I don't think he didn't think that Rocky couldn't beat Clubber Lang. I
No,
think
but
because Mick was there and saw the war that he went through with Apollo, and Rocky definitely was not training to beat Clubber Lang or any top person. He was just going on. He wasn't training as hard, and he kind of says that in the movie. So if Rocky had possibly been different with his training, I think Mick probably would have set that fight up. But at the same time, Clubber Lang was not in position to demand a fight yet. Like he's working his
no.
way up, So if he
But
wasn't in that position to fight, I wouldn't have looked at him either.
he was number 1 by the time he was
Yes.
demanding a fight.
Yeah, but at
But
that point in time, Rocky, 3 years had passed, and Rocky was like, you know what? He was getting ready to
yeah,
retire.
Well,
exactly.
Rocky was fighting not just contenders, but he was fighting champions from other countries. Like he was international.
Hmm.
He fought like the Russian or not Russian, the Greece champion or Spain's champion or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
the thing also about it was one. I thought watching this again, I made the connection. I thought they were modeling Clubber Lang after Mike Tyson for how fast Tyson got to a.
I don't think so.
Tyson was after.
Yeah, Tyson was after. Like this
Okay,
came out, I believe, in 83 or
85.
84.
Oh, maybe 83. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Um,
Tyson hadn't really hit
was
yet.
88. He was 88, 89.
I think he started like in around 86 when
Okay.
Tyson
Okay.
started,
All right.
coming up.
The other thing
85
that
or
I was
86.
the other thing I was thinking about was Mick did the right thing. His whole thing was, I'm protecting you and giving you years on your life. He knew that fight with Apollo took
Yeah.
years, took like, I don't want to say years. I think it took like decades off his life,
Well,
So his whole thing was, not that he's like, not that he's protecting, like he's protecting him, but he's like, I'm trying to get you the most amount of money and let you still be safe as long as we can be.
you got to remember too, Rocky at that point was on the downside of his career because in the first movie he was 30. So, it's 3 years later. The second fight after that was only a few months, like maybe what, 10 months, almost a year, something
Probably.
like
Yeah.
that. So Rocky at this point in time in this movie is 33, 34 years old. Like, no boxer is in the prime of their career at that point.
Yeah.
So Mick is like, just get this money and let's just go chill out,
Yeah.
Mick's also living with them,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting. The other thing you see going on during these 3 years is Paulie is getting real upset and angry. And he to the point where he confronts Rocky and tells him like, "Hey man, what the hell? You taking care of everyone, including Mickey, but you ain't taking care of me? What do you mean he ain't taking care of you? He set Paulie up just fine. Paulie
Yeah.
always got his hand out.
Yeah. Well,
He
I don't
always looking to
understand. Like
make an
in the
easy
first
buck.
two movies, when Paulie wanted something, he would just ask Rocky. Why he
Well,
didn't do that in this movie?
because of this one, he demanded it. He tried to fight Rocky and everything.
No,
And
no,
it's so
no.
funny because
I'm talking about before got to that point. Like he could have said something at any point within this 3 years, like, "Hey, give me a job."
no, I
Working.
agree.
He did it in the first two movies. He asked for a job, and he wanted to, be the collector. He wanted his old job. He had time to do that.
I think honestly, I think Paulie was sitting back waiting for Rock to set him up and take care of him. But I think Rocky was like, I didn't want to make you think like less of yourself because I needed to give you a handout. I thought you were proud in that, but I'll take care of you. You're my brother. I love you to death.
Right.
So if you want me to take care of you and you want a job, man, like okay, cool. But why are you trying to fight me over it all the time?
But what kind of he asked for a job? But I was thinking like, what kind of job can you have? Like, you don't know anything about boxing, nothing at
I
all.
don't know.
I'm not
Moral
about to.
support.
I definitely should not give you a chance dealing with my finances. We're gonna see how that's gonna go
I
in the
know.
future.
Good Lord.
So like I would have been like, okay, well, if he would have said, can I just run your merchandise? Cool, that's all you have to do. Didn't he ask him to do that in the second movie anyway?
I thought so, something like that. Or
Yeah,
he was basically making his merchandise more or less.
yeah, but he ended up getting him the robe with the advertising on the back of the robe.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So we get to the next scene. Rocky's doing a charity event. He's going to take on a wrestler. And who do they bring out? Hulk Hogan. But he's not Hulk Hogan in this. Oh, what's his name? Thunderlips.
as a matter of fact, since you just said that, Joe, Angel, this is before Hulk Hogan blew up.
Yeah,
This is why
I
Hulk
know.
Hogan blew up. So this is definitely. So this is earlier. This is probably '83.
This was when they did the This is when he was still doing the regions for wrestling.
Yeah. So this had to be '83 because Hogan won the belt in '84. So this is '83. So yeah, Tyson definitely was not someone that was national at that point in time.
Okay, because when I watched it, they said that Vince tried to tell him no, he couldn't go do it. Both
His dad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both Vinces, like both McMahons, actually, because the son was like a little iffy, and then the dad said no, and he said he went on and did it anyways.
I don't think he was in the WW. I thought he was with the AWA at this point.
He went up there. He did a short stint, and then because of this, he got kicked out, and then he went down to AWA, and and then he became big over there, and then that's when he was kind of able to like write his own write his own thing.
Yeah.
That's when the son bought it from his dad, and that's when he said, "I want to take over every territory."
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My little wrestling knowledge I have.
Go ahead, Joe.
This whole thing was crazy because Rocky's like trying to set up this match to like, be just something fun. Thunderlips don't care. And it's funny because you said Hulk Hogan wasn't like he wasn't Hulk Hogan at this time
No,
No,
he
he
wasn't.
wasn't.
necessarily, but he still used all his top moves.
Because
He
Yeah.
dropped the leg on him.
Well, that's because
So I
at
didn't
that
realize
time-
he had all that, but I thought that was when he got the full on
No, because at
Hulk
that
Hogan
time,
action.
even though he was in AWA and he did that short stint with the McMahons in New York and Madison Square Garden, he was still wrestling Andre the Giant a lot at that time.
Yeah,
So
he was the bad guy. He was
yeah,
the bad
he was
guy.
the bad guy.
Yeah,
So he was
he
still
was the villain at this
so-
point. Also, if I'm Thunderlips, I would have been pissed because you know he didn't smarten up Rocky. So this fight gets out of hand, and Rocky takes the gloves off and starts hitting him. So a boxer is hitting a wrestler, not knowing that this is staged. So he should have knocked his ass out. He should have busted his ribs. He should have knocked him out or something. Because
He was
Rocky
messing
wasn't
Rocky up pretty good.
No. I'm talking about Rocky should have busted up
Yeah.
Thunderlips because he doesn't know that this is a work. He thinks this is real. So
Yeah, I
now
know.
he's punching him. He should have broke ribs, knocked him out, hit him in the like. I'm not taking no punch from no boxer, especially without his gloves on. That's not happening.
No, not
And most
even.
wrestlers are not doing that either.
The crowd starts turning on Thunderlips. Mickey is having some kind of heart issue. This is the kind of the first sign we see where Mickey's having some issues. And it all kind of relates to every time. It really stresses him out to see Rocky in pain or get hurt.
Mhm.
So he's I think he thinks of Rocky like kind of like his son at this point. And so it's very stressful for him. And I mean, all in all, Rocky chokes out this big old Thunderlips fool. And they do pictures and everything. Now the funny thing is, Clubber Lang is in the crowd. He leaves because he's like, this is ridiculous. And they go on and everything's good. And we see Rocky spending some time with his family, including Paulie. And then they have this big ceremony, and they've put together a statue in honor of Rocky. And this is the point where, this is Rocky's day. He's going to retire. And the city's, commemorating him. And who shows up? Clubber Lang. Now, I don't care who you are. I know everybody was trying to hold Rocky back. Rocky should have beat his ass. You don't show up to my ceremony and then start talking shit to my wife.
Yeah.
That's grounds for getting messed up.
Travis loves that.
You're getting
part.
messed up.
Travis loves that.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Can I
Of
just
course
say
he does.
Because I knew we were recording, I was watching some old fight films of some old footage of Trav fighting when he was on JPM and even with TPK, right? Bro, like Trav looked like he was the type of dude that I would like get annoyed fighting. Like me and Trav would like get into words as we're fighting because he would just do things and just be so like,
But that's what he did. But he wouldn't talk to you.
No.
He was
that's what I'm saying.
he was
Like,
very quiet and humble during his fights.
but
He wouldn't
would
talk
do-
to you. He
Until
might
after
get
the
mad
fight.
sometimes.
He would do
Yeah, after the
things
fight he would.
He would do things in the fight and then just like then be like
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro, I saw you do that. Like, come on, man. Like I could have sworn there was some fight he did something and someone like I don't know if they tried to hit him late or something. And Trav was like, boom.
Oh yeah, he gets into it.
And then
He gets into it.
He
He gets going.
I was like, oh no, bro, this guy is. But yeah, you said that he liked that part. That doesn't surprise.
Yeah. When he says, "Hey woman,"
Hey woman. Nuh-uh. I'm sorry. You're done. I'm not fighting you in the ring. It's happening right now.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I know I'm young and all.
You know what I would have did if I was
feel
Rocky?
like-
I would have tried to get down there and been nice about it. Because I wouldn't want anybody to break us up. And the best thing you can do in that situation is
Sucker
talk calm
punch
to
him?
somebody. No, you gotta sucker punch them. Something even better than that. You just haul off and pimp slap them. Just slap the shit out of somebody because it don't matter if they beat your ass. Somebody's gonna be like, you just got the shit slapped out of you. No matter what. No matter what. If you slap somebody, that's like the ultimate disrespect to get slapped. And don't do the backhand slap. don't backhand slap somebody. They can't get over that. They can beat your ass and it don't matter. You got slapped.
You know how
You know?
crazy it's gotta be to watch a guy do this to you and just
Man,
Hey,
people will talk about that part for the rest of the night. You're in the club, don't matter if you're in the club, the DJ's gonna stop the music and everybody's gonna go home. They're gonna talk about it. But damn, that dude did get slapped across the face. He got slapped. You see that? People are gonna talk about it, they're gonna imitate it and everything, you know.
Gene,
Yeah.
did I tell you about that? In I think it was the 11th or 12th grade. I did that.
No.
Okay, it's
Joe,
not as great as it sounds.
Joe,
No,
we're
it's fine.
not gonna
It's
get
fine.
that call or that text, are we?
No,
Okay,
it was
okay.
it was fine. Listen. It was me being nice. This dude said that I tripped him in class, and so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight you after class." Like he was all, and I said, "Dude, I didn't trip you. We don't got to fight. Like, quit talking mess." But he wanted to fight me after class. So I'm the type of person like I don't back down from a fight, but I'm also not gonna fight someone unless they actually want to fight me. So we get out of class. I drop my stuff. You get the circle and everything. And I walk right up to him in his face and I tell him, okay, we fighting or what? I gave him the chance to back out. I gave him the chance to throw the first punch. The look in this kid's eye, like, I swear to you, he looked like he was ready to cry. And now I feel bad because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I've never been in a situation like that before. So I literally just looked at him and I was like, okay, I can't let this guy punk me.
I can't walk away.
He called me out, but I can't haul off and punch him. I can't do that. I couldn't do it. I should have, but I couldn't. So I just said, okay, man. I was like, well, you don't need to be talking to me like this ever again. And I was like, and just for that. And I said, just remember that. Everyone was like, oh. And I was like, and I just walked away. I picked my stuff up and I walked away. And I thought, to me, that should have been it. This dude started stuff with me again and brought his friends into it. And I had to explain to them what happened. I said, listen, man. I was like, because he went and told them, oh, he hit me from behind. And I was like, no. I was like, you could talk to everybody. I was like, I gave this guy several chances to either start something or walk away. He didn't give me no option. So I said, I let him know who I am and where I come from. And then I let him off easy. I was like, but if y'all want to start something, I'm not letting anybody off easy. I'll bring the heat. So they kind of called him out and said, okay, never mind. But dang, yeah, I had to do that. That was the only time, and I felt bad about it afterwards. But I'm like, you can't
would
get
never
punked
felt
like
bad.
that.
I would never felt
No,
bad.
I
mean,
shouldn't have.
unless he was handicapped or something.
No, he wasn't handicapped.
You can't be slapping handicapped people, Joe.
I know, but sometimes they have it coming. No, just come on. Anyhow, so now they set up the fight, and it's going down. And
no, don't go right to the fight, man. We got to talk about Rocky's training. What is wrong with Rocky training like that, man? Like that was
because
ridiculous.
He hasn't fought someone that he had to actually train hard for.
I wonder, because we didn't see this part of the movie, but I wonder if Mick showed Rocky footage of Clubber Lang fighting, because the way he was training, it didn't seem like he saw footage. And Mick told him, like, Rocky, Mick left that ceremony, and Rocky went home and had a talk with him. They had a real heart to heart, and he told him, like, because Clubber Lang said, like, you had easy fights, they were set up, like you didn't really have any challengers. Now you got one. Now you got to fight me. So Rocky, asked Mick about that, because Rocky didn't know that Clubber had been trying to fight him, and Mick had been standing in the way. So when Rocky confronted Mick about it, he said, yeah, you have not been hungry since you won the title. I wasn't trying to, take away your manhood or nothing like that. But at the same time, you haven't fought anyone like this before, so I was just trying to do what was best for you. So now that's messing with Rocky's heart because now he doesn't know if he really earned it, if he was really a champion. But I think that shouldn't have been messing with his head because he had 2 wars with Apollo, and those are real fights.
Yes.
So I would have, been like, oh, I'm good, you know. But I still probably would have wanted to
Um,
fight him. Just for what he said to Adrian, I would have wanted to fight Clubber Lang.
100%. But honest to God, after Mick was messed up, they should have canceled the fight.
Yeah.
Rocky, his headspace was already bad going into it, but after that, his headspace was done. He's lucky he didn't get hurt more.
Yeah. He lucky he didn't get the Rocky 4 treatment that Apollo got.
Yeah, for real. Because like when your headspace is not in there, I mean, you're just all over the place. So the fight, pretty much goes kind of how Mickey thought it would. Rocky came out hot in the first round, but after that, Clever got a piece of him. His head wasn't in it, knocked him out in the third round. This whole time, Mickey's struggling. Pretty much he's dying. And when at the end of the fight, Rocky lets Mickey believe that they won, but he didn't win, which I thought was, I guess that was pretty good. So I hate that Mickey had to die. It sucks, but kind of gives us the movie because then one of the people commentating this fight was Apollo Creed, and that's where after this fight, and they get to a point where they do the Mickey's funeral and everything. They get to a point where Rocky's gonna have a rematch, and he's gonna train with Apollo, and that's where the real the meat and potatoes of this movie kind of happens because this is Rocky basically changing his style of fighting.
I was wondering, Rocky wanted to fight, but it seemed like he wanted to fight, but he also didn't want to fight at the same time.
Well, he didn't because his heart wasn't in it. And I think Apollo talked him in. Apollo almost made him take this fight. Because Apollo's like, nah, man, you're not in the right headspace. We're going to get you right. But you got to take this fight. You're better than this bum. We all know you're better than this bum. Like, we got to get you right. And he's not wrong. Like, you can't go out like that. That's not how you go out. So we got to find your heart again. We got to get you back to where you can go. So he takes him, where he used to train. Takes him to the hood.
To the hood.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Rocky in the hood, that's fine. Paulie never should have been there.
No.
Paulie's crazy ass. Why do you bring Paulie in the hood?
Yeah, that
was
was
like he didn't get killed.
Yeah,
Paulie's like he didn't get killed. He looks like he's part of a militia or something.
he just flat out said, "I don't like these people." Like that.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And they don't like him either.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
I understand them, man. Would you have brought Adrian? Would you have brought Paulie? I don't think I would have wanted them to come.
I wouldn't let my family go.
No, I don't think I would have wanted them. I'd be. What happened to the other guys who trained Rocky with Mick? I would have wanted those guys there with me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had Adrian and Paulie. And then I understand, he wants to make Rocky feel like how he did back in the day, but Adrian and Paulie did not have to. I mean, their hotel was in the hood too.
Paulie, no, but Adrian is his compass, so he does need her. He needs her at the end of this one before the fight, and he needs her in 4.
Yeah,
she's always been his compass. She always gets him right before a fight. They've always done that in all the movies, except for 1 because she barely knew him then. But in 2, she has to go through her thing and wake up and be like, "You can fight and you gotta win." They always gotta do something dramatic. So yeah, she's always been his compass. And what they're working on with Rocky for this fight is, just like in 2, where Mick trained him right hand, and then had him switch to southpaw. Now they're going to switch it up even more. They're instead of making him a brawler, they're going to try and teach him to box like Apollo, move around, juke and jive, slip some punches, and get some speed. Not none of that catch the chicken speed, some actual speed.
Right.
And it's hard for him. He's, Rocky don't got no rhythm. He don't move around. He's a brawler. He wants to stand toe to toe and exchange punches. So
Yeah,
this
he's
is a whole new, this is a whole new world for him. But on top of that, not only is he unmotivated at this point, he's kind of lost the will to do this sport. He's just struggling all around with everything. So Apollo keeps trying to get through to him. Paulie's going to be Paulie, and it does take Adrian in the end to tell him, like, you were always been the same person. You're not going to change just because of A, B, C, and D. If you don't want to do this fight, don't do this fight. But if you want to do this fight, put your all into it. Get off your ass. Go out there and be a champion. I didn't marry some bum. So yeah,
that was a major insult back in the day, wasn't it?
Right?
You did call it a bum.
They do use that a lot in this. So after that little talk, they do a nice training montage. He's picking up the skills he's learning from Apollo. He's actually trying to race him on the beach. He's hanging now. He's losing some weight. He's getting a little bit more muscle, a little bit trimmer, and he's gonna be a whole new person.
Angel, hold on. And before you continue, Joe. Angel, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
At AKA, are you fighting?
Mm.
No. Okay. Next, you know what, Joe? One time, what I'm gonna do is when I know Angel's fight, I'm gonna go to the tournament, and I'm gonna be dressed as Mick. And when he's down, I'm gonna yell at him. I'm gonna have a yellow jacket on.
Hey, I'm gonna dress like Paulie.
I think we might make him lose by accident from laughing at our ass.
I'm gonna turn around and be like, I'm gonna turn around and be like, I don't sweat you. I don't sweat you.
I just want to turn him around if he loses. I don't want to turn around and slap him like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Hey, listen, bro. That's happened before. Trust me, that's happened before.
He's gonna be like, my boys are crazy.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna be like, I just want to dress up in a clown suit. I was like, man, don't do that, bro. Come on.
No.
Gene don't like clowns. Gene don't mess with clowns.
I just want to be standing off to the side, not telling anybody. Don't tell. I want Travis to look like, what the hell does Gene got on? Is he dressed like Nick? I want to be sitting there eating some fruit, some grapes or some oranges or something, and spitting and talking at the same time. Go ahead, Joe.
I can't think of anything else right now.
I just want to say, what the hell is wrong with you? Come on, Diaz, let's go.
He's a wrecking machine.
He's gonna eat lightning and crap thunder.
That's right. I definitely got to say that one.
Oh, they're not gonna take us anywhere anymore. Or they'll just keep inviting us back. Either way, good to go. So yeah, we get to the fight. Rocky's got all his new skills, and of course, because it's Rocky, he comes out. He's doing pretty good with his new skills and his new fighting style, and he's hanging with Clubber. But then he gets right back to his southpaw, beat him up style. But he kind of adds his own little thing to it. Now his new plan is to use his skills and his brawling, but he's going to make Clubber mad because Clubber's mad and he's wasting punches trying to kill Rocky.
Now, this is what I've never understood this part of the movie. So at the beginning of the movie, like it is understood that Clubber Lang hits hard, and Rocky knows how hard he can hit because his face
Yeah.
got lumped up fast in the first round of the first fight. So now all of a sudden, I know you training, but training like training does not prepare you to take punches to the face like that.
No,
you,
no.
you're not, you're not doing, face weightlifting or nothing. Like, how is he taking these punches now and able to survive? You know.
Well, the first couple of rounds, he was looking more like Apollo out there. He was moving
Hmm.
around. He was using that jab, slipping punches. I mean, yeah, he was doing really good. But like I said, he just he threw the game plan right out the window
Yeah,
after like the third round. He's like, "Nah, I got a new idea."
and
And
then he
Paulie's the one that pointed it out.
kind of did that. He kind of did that in his second fight with Apollo also.
Yep,
You know,
true. Yeah, listen to your coach. Come on now. But
but it
it
worked.
does work because he notices that when Clubber's getting that angry and he's wasting these punches, that he's exerting more energy and he's starting to get a little tired. And he even tells Clubber, yeah, he's like, come on, you ain't so bad, you ain't so. And he's telling Clubber's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do it. And he goes, yeah, but I'm not over here huffing and puffing. Like
Hmm.
that should have clicked with this dude. This dude's so angry. Even his corner's telling him like, quit wasting punches, man.
Yeah, stop
Hmm.
Calm
wasting
down.
punches.
So yeah, the plan works. And this is what I think the first Rocky movie we've ever watched where Rocky didn't go 15 rounds and get beat up. Didn't he
Yeah,
knock him out in like the third or fourth round?
I think it went like maybe
five or
7 or
six, I
8.
think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which I thought was interesting. And yeah, he wins. They're not going to be friends after this one, so we don't see Clover. But
No.
the funniest thing to me about Clubber Lang as a character, they literally just said, Mr. T, go be yourself, but you're a boxer now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
actually
Pretty
was the
much.
truth. That actually was the truth. Yeah.
It just cracked me up. It made me laugh because I'm like, I mean, he's still, come on, fool. Come on, fool.
Yeah.
I still, to be honest with you, I use a lot of his like stuff that he says to people when I'm like fighting or I'm trying to mess with people. I say some of that stuff too, bro. Like, some of the stuff he said, I say it.
You said to your students.
That's to
I
my
pity the
students.
fool who don't blitz today.
That's to my
I
students.
pity the fool who don't do a defensive sidekick.
Could you imagine if your uncle was doing stuff like that?
But
I would die.
this is my favorite
Oh
movie.
God.
The other thing I wanted to add to this was I think this movie, I think hands down, I think this is probably the best montage I've ever seen. For
This is
both
great montage.
for both when
Lots of
Clubber
good
was
montage.
training and
Mhm.
for when Rocky was training. There was something about the way they did it that I was like, I think this is probably the best montage I've ever seen. Like,
You know what? Go
for
ahead,
me,
Angel.
no, I was just gonna say, for me, like it's up there. Like there's other movies like that and Rocky 4, and then some other martial arts movies and some other movies that they've done that I was like, they found a way to like make the montage just right. Like they found a way to get it just right. Really good.
The one thing that I did notice, if this was real in a real life situation, there would have been a third fight between Rocky and Clubber Lang and
Rocky
Rocky
Apollo.
and Apollo.
Yeah.
You know, in real
Yeah.
life, there's always, if one person wins one fight and the other person wins another fight, there's got to be a rubber match to find out. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, we get a
who
rubber
it takes.
match with Rocky and Apollo, but we don't find out
You
about
guys
it
don't
Yeah.
until
like
later.
that. You guys don't like that. So whatever.
We
because
don't like what?
Angel is saying that Apollo won that fight, even though we didn't see it. He's saying that because of a conversation that happened in Creed, but we don't know. We weren't there. You know, it's
I'd
just
rather see
boring.
the fight.
Yeah,
I'd rather see
can
the
I just
fight.
say something really
Yeah.
quick too? This is something messed up. I actually, when I saw Creed, I saw it like before Carl Weathers died.
Mhm.
I thought he actually died in real life. The first time I saw Creed, I said, "Did he die for real? And why didn't they bring him back?" Right? I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. Right? I know it's a look at Joe had his mouth open. Like he's about to, what the hell's wrong with you, right? But
he
then,
died
but then
in 4.
But then I watched it again after when he died in real life, and I actually got sad. I was like, "Damn, we'll never get him back in this movie." Like,
No, what's funny is Angel thought Apollo was gonna come back like a Force ghost, and he was he was gonna give his son, he's gonna give Adonis some words of wisdom or something. No,
Hey,
what bothered me with Creed is Apollo had 2 other kids, and they don't show up at all in Creed, which is
Ever.
crazy to me.
yeah.
Yeah, they should have said something. At least they wasn't even at the mom's funeral. At least we didn't see them.
No.
You know, that was weird. That was crazy. But anyway, so like Angel said, Rocky and Apollo, because Apollo said, I'm going to help you win this fight, but you know, you're going to owe me a favor. And the favor was for them to spar one more time, you know. So, but once again, they're sparring. You know, they're not really trying to knock each other out. Come on now. There's
That's
no
why
there's no
that's
referee,
what-
Angel. There's no referee. There's no
They
judges.
didn't wear headgear. They didn't wear headgear.
That's still just sparring. They're not trying to knock each other out.
Have you seen the dog fight rounds at Mayweather's gym? They ain't trying to knock each other out.
No, I have not seen that, but this is a movie.
Okay.
This is
It
a
don't
movie
matter.
where these guys are
They did
friends.
the same thing.
But I'm saying, so what are they going to do? They're going to beat the crap out of each other for another 15 rounds and then call 911 or go to the hospital?
Rocky did not look the way that he looked in the first fight or second fight after when we see him in part 4. He doesn't look the same. So it couldn't have been that bad of a fight.
Yeah, he looked like he's on
So either
steroids.
he beat the hell out of Apollo, or they just sparred around. They didn't really take it seriously because we saw what happened to Rocky's face when they take it serious. Right? We did. We saw it twice.
But he got better.
He got better. We saw what happened like right after the fight.
But
You
he
know?
learned Apollo's movement. He got better.
Yeah.
Gene.
Okay. Well, I got you there.
Gene,
All right. Yeah.
his martial arts training was improving.
Yeah, I guess. I really don't give a shit. I really don't care. So there's no way to prove this. So we're just gonna leave it at that. But once again, it was a good movie. Of course, give it an A.
Hey, it's not even a question.
All day.
But to me, the story was not as emotional. Even though an emotional
Thank
thing
God.
happened in the movie,
Thank
it
God.
wasn't as emotional as 1 and 2.
Thank God.
To me.
I didn't want it to be. And I think they did it on purpose because I think the 80s was the action era. So they were going
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Perfect. Keep it like that.
All right. So next week we got Rocky 4.
Is that our last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then we're gonna get into Cobra Kai. Man, I know you guys saw the Karate Kid Legacy trailer.
I have so many questions, but
Right.
let's not get into that right now.
What was it? I was gonna say the same thing,
I
man.
have so many questions. Let's not even get into it right now.
You know what's
Don't
funny
don't question it. Just watch it.
What was funny was Melissa. She looked at me. She said, "What happened at the end of Cobra?" I was like, "She was like, what happened? What happened at the end of Cobra Kai?" I was like, "Well, they're not done." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, don't you remember what happened at the end?" I forgot that she didn't finish watching Cobra Kai, this part 2. She hasn't finished watching part 2 of season 6. So I said, "Oh my God!" So you got to finish watching that, and then then you're really going to be excited about this Karate Kid.
I can't wait till we talk about that because I got so much to say about all. I'm gonna rewatch it, of course, but
yeah,
I got so much to say about that.
All right, you guys got anything else?
Be on the lookout. We got a new podcast coming. Just be on the lookout. Be on the lookout.
Finally getting it together.
Finally.
All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.